Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with more drama. As you know, I, Sir Nux Penchus himself, like to sit back and react to some shit that goes on in the industry around me. Not actually contributing anything meaningful to society, but instead laughing and cackling at the idiots scurrying like ants around us. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if that intro to this video is a good idea, because I don't actually know what this drama is about. I just know that it's something that a lot of people have been asking me to cover. Amazing Digital Circus has been getting into a lot of fire because the parent company, Glitch, the guys that made Murder Drones and Meta Runner and all that stuff, apparently got into some mega hoopla drama. It's been very ugly. I've seen lots of people going and talking about it. I've gotten DMs from YouTubers asking me to talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about it. My boy A. Lamau made a video covering it, the Glitch drama, and also a video covering Glitch's response to the drama. So, we are going to be jumping into it. We're gonna see what this is all about, and we're gonna give our completely level-headed, based, slightly, chaotic, neutral take on the matter. Alright, don't harass any of the people. Don't harass anybody. No harassment. Harassment's for bitches.
In the past week or so,
not that you should be harassing bitches. That was, like, you're a bitch if you harass. Not that, like, reserve your harassment specifically for bitches. Don't take me out of context to make it look like I'm doing this.
Situation has unfolded regarding the indie animation studio called Glitch Productions and some of their...
What is this footage he's using?
...their staff. There's been a lot of discussion surrounding Glitch's working conditions after the treatment of one of their former voice actors for Tari, which I'll be...
Oh shit, bro. Oh no.
...going over in this video. A lot of these statements are allegations, so make sure to watch the full video first and then decide after. So this all...
Wait, so, dude, why is it always the big company abusing the employees? Is it that easy? Bro, why can't I abuse my employees? You hear that, editor? I don't know who's gonna be editing this one. Probably either Stevie or Doodle. You hear that, editor? It's not fair! We gotta change things up around here. No, I'm joking. That was a joke, obviously. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much.
Initially got brought to light when a fan of SMG4 made a post saying, "Hey, I know the new VA is not your cup of tea, but please respect it. Tari's old VA is a teacher and already has kids now. She's busy taking care of her family, so I understand why SMG4 hired a new VA. I'm saying this because I see people hate the new VA and make new hashtags. Celeste, the previous voice actor for..."
Interesting. Okay, so voice actor got replaced. I feel like replacing voice actors, it never goes smoothly. Ever.
Tari saw this and responded saying, "As the OG voice of Tari, I am as surprised as you are.
Huh? Wait, what? So this is, hey, I know the new VA is not your cup of tea, respect it. Tari is a teacher, has kids, she's busy. Meanwhile, Tari didn't even know that she was fired? Okay, we gotta hear the full story here before we have any opinions. Let's do our due diligence and hear both sides of things. You don't want to sound like someone, supporting some harassment allegations that turn out to be kind of sort of fabricated. All right, listen, this isn't Minecraft. We're real humans. We're not children.
Discovered that I've been replaced today. While I'm sure Lottie is a lovely person and would never begrudge a fellow actor getting work, this whole narrative that I was too busy is not true at all. So basically,
Okay, so she was fired, basically. I'm just saying, this, I have people in the chat being like, is this Selen Tatsuki 2.0? Is this Niji Sanji again? First of all, totally different thing, okay? I am a bit of a capitalist, okay? I don't know if that's cancelable these days, but what can I say? What can I say? Maybe it's in my genes. The point is, I do think that you are allowed to fire people if you don't want to work with them anymore. Now, obviously, it should be done in the most ethical possible way. You shouldn't just do it if you don't have a good reason for it. You can't just, I think that it's mean and rude and stuff, but you are allowed to fire people. Again, I don't know the full story, so I have to reserve judgment until I actually hear it. But announcing it the same day as telling the voice actor is a little cringe.
Tari voiced a character in Glitch's SMG4 series. She was recast for...
I have never watched that.
...seemingly no reason, and found out via Twitter, which is obviously pretty disappointing. It reminds...
Dude, maybe it is a Selen Tatsuki situation.
Reminds me a little of the Dookie Bird situation.
Ah! I just said that. Oh no. Obviously the context is completely different. Obviously the context is wildly different. There's a big difference between terminating a talent that's relying on your support that tried to kill herself 2 times, all right? Like in the Dookie Bird situation, all right? That was not only fired, but also slandered by the company and attempted to silence them, all right? The Niji Sanji jump scare, the context is wildly different, but the fact that they both heard of this and through Twitter is a little scary.
The week, if you're familiar with that.
Like, this is breaking up over text message, power 1,000.
After, there were a lot of posts blowing up talking about it and going after the new VA Lottie, which is completely uncalled for.
100%. You should not harass the new voice actress. It was absolutely not her decision or fault, or she had nothing to do with that in any way. You should be happy with her that she got a job. I feel bad for voice actors in general. I feel like voice actors are really not treated properly.
She isn't responsible for Glitch's mishandling of their staff. In response to this, one of the other voice actors for SMG2, Anime America, actually ended up resigning publicly.
Oh, Anime America. Yeah, she messaged about this. God, I feel like an asshole that I didn't answer her message. She sent me a message while I was in the middle of doing something and I totally forgot about it. I'm just not on Twitter anymore, so I don't see any of this shit.
In response to everything, her post reads, "My Tara, you didn't deserve this. If we're that replaceable, then consider this my resignation as SMG2 effective immediately. SMG4 should be ashamed for being this heartless and unprofessional." Not too long after this started blowing up, the voice director for Glitch posted a response over on Discord, giving...
Yeah, it's rough out there for voice actors, I feel like. Especially with the fear that AI is just gonna completely take over the industry, with the fear that you could just be easily replaced. Like, if you replace an actor in a show, everyone goes crazy. If you replace a voice actor, it's really only a little bit of a Twitter mob, and then people forget.
Their side of the situation, they said, "Hey, my name is Jasmine and I'm the voice director for Glitch in SMG4. I wanted to talk directly to the SMG4 community about something that you may have seen on Twitter recently."
And it's not only the mistreatment of voice actors. I want to make this known because I feel like it's sad. Voice actors make shit money. That's a little rude. I'm not trying to shit on voice actors' professions, but like, they make so little money.
And clear up any concern or confusion. If you hadn't seen it, the voice actor for Tari was recently replaced with a new actress. But with the real sticking point being that Celeste hadn't been told and is understandably upset. To make everything clear, this was entirely on me and I apologize to everyone.
Okay, so it's this dude's fault that Celeste wasn't told that she was fired. That's wild.
As voice director, the VA's well-being is under me, and the very simple answer about it is that I forgot to notify her.
I mean, wow. You forgot to tell her she was fired when they replaced her. Wow, bro. That's crazy. How do you forget to do something like that?
Entirely it, with no excuses or reasoning behind it. I've reached out to her as well as our other VAs to apologize for this
I guess the best thing you could do is apologize at this point, but like, holy shit, that's negligence.
Mistake. But yeah, it's entirely on me for not doing something I was supposed to do. And I fully
this really takes Glitch out of the limelight though, right? It was one manager that kind of fucked up. It wasn't like Glitch having some weird systemic abuse ring going on like in some other companies that we don't need to talk about right now.
Except if anyone is angry or upset at me, as it is well deserved. Why the replacement happened is something that I feel isn't right to disclose outside of me and Celeste personally and without her permission. Right now, all I can say at this point is sorry to anyone upset by what's happened, or if it feels like someone at SMG4 betrayed your trust as a community, because I did. It is not the standard we uphold here in this studio, and as the voice director and even as a voice actress myself, I failed to uphold it. As you can probably guess, this weird apology did not go down well and allegedly paints a far different picture to what Celeste says she had experienced, which she details in a fairly lengthy post. The caption reads, "Hi all, thank you for your patience and support. I've been waiting to post anything to give time for..."
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, look, negligence. That's negligence. That's cringe and it's negligence.
Which to hopefully give me a proper answer or at least make a statement. But so many days have gone by and I feel like I should share my story as you deserve some sort of response. If you'd like to read the entire thing, I'll leave a link in the description, but I'm just going to summarize the main points that she mentioned.
That's a lot of words. Lots of words. And I don't blame anyone for dropping all those words on the timeline, but it's a lot of words.
And being that Glitch said that she wasn't available, but they couldn't seem to provide a reason as to why, since Celeste had hit all her deadlines and was more available than ever. Her messages when she tried to communicate about this had also been left unread, so it just seems like they had an opinion of her being unavailable despite the opposite clearly being the case. Another segment that Celeste brings up was that Jasmine...
Okay, so she's saying that it's a misunderstanding to some degree, that Glitch thought that she was not going to be available and not ready to work, and therefore they decided to fire her, and they fired her, and the manager didn't tell her she was fired. That's kind of the timeline it looks like. Dude, again, I have to say, as someone that believes that in capitalism to some degree, bro, this is their company. They want it running as smoothly as possible. If they want to fire someone and they have a reason to do it, then they could fire them. I don't think that that's too crazy or extreme. However, the way they went about it is awful. Like, this is some bad management. Like, oh my god, it's like they're hiring Japanese college students part-time work for management, pulling a Niji Sanji. Like, that's yucky. Like, it's the kind of mistake that I think shouldn't necessarily be forgiven by Glitch. If I was Glitch, I would fire that manager. Again, because I think firing people is is okay if you have a good reason. Like that's like a one strike and you're out policy in my opinion. You can't fire somebody, tell the manager, okay, we're firing them, and then the manager's just like forgets to tell them. Wow. It's not malice, it's incompetence, but it's a level of incompetence that I think that is closer to negligence than just purely incompetence.
Had initially claimed that she had nothing to do with the recast, and then somehow switched into taking full responsibility in the apology, so it makes things pretty clear as to what's going on. With all of this coming together, Anime America started posting and talking about some negative reviews left about Glitch from past employees. One user posted on the initial thread with some Glassdoor screenshots saying, "I'm sorry to hear that, Celeste. Glitch unfortunately has a history of not being the best employer since they started taking on other projects other than MetaRunner. Their Glassdoor reviews for employees are not great either." Underneath were some pretty poor reviews about Glitch.
I mean, there are going to be poor reviews everywhere, and they aren't even necessarily by employees of Glitch. They could just be done by haters. Again, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I don't think you could take poor reviews as a reason to go on some cancel tirade for somebody.
And the working conditions. As always, keep in mind to take these kind of things with a grain of salt, as they might not be as simple as it seems, or they could be faked. We can't know for certain. Anime America posted various different personal accounts from alleged former employees of the team. Feel free to pause and read in your own time, but they more
Groups of cool people banding together to make cool stuff, and we're doing it again. We're making another talented indie creator. We're making a show that we want to find more support. Ex-employee moved on due to mental health and physical stress working there. I'm now working for a proper animation company in my new position, highlighting the issues of glitch protection as internally. I think the person summed up things well on what happened on the production floor. I want to emphasize that to aspiring young artists is a false narrative of animation industry pioneers pulled by Glitch Productions upper management team. That's interesting. That is interesting. I do think that Glitch wants to succeed as an indie animation team, but like, let's be real. Every company wants to hire people that are going to be cheap, right? I think Glitch is no exception to that, and they are going to cut corners and, you know, try their best to get the most bang for their buck. They're not necessarily, again, that's just unfortunately life very often, and it's not an excuse at all, but unfortunately that's just life. That's the industry.
More or less detail the same kind of poor working experiences that they had at Glitch. After this, there was a lot of discussion on the topic, especially over on Twitter and on any Glitch-related subreddits. The general consensus being that Glitch is in the wrong, and there were some users starting boycotts against the shows.
See, but the thing is, right and wrong is like, it's too black and white. While, yes, it's definitely wrong that they didn't announce that they were firing the voice actor, and they didn't tell the voice actor that she was being fired. That is 100% wrong. Like, that's not shades of gray. That's mean. That's negligent and mean. If you're gonna fire someone, you have to freaking tell them about it. But if you're gonna just boycott the shows because a manager fucked up, bro, because, you know, animators aren't being paid as well as they should. Listen, again, and I don't want this to sound rude. If they accept the position and they're being paid on the agreed payment and giving the agreed upon guidelines, like, all that, like, what are you gonna say? They agreed to this position. They didn't have to take that job. Now, when it's like Mappa Studios in Japan, where they would literally abuse their animators and put them on crunch time moments and shit like that, that's awful. That's boycottable. That's disgusting. But here, if it's a job that's agreed upon by all parties and carried out based on the guidelines of the contract, like, maybe it's shitty, but it's not downright evil.
So that's everything covered so far. Overall, it's a pretty disastrous situation. Two other YouTubers being Iox and Tactical did videos on this situation, and I'd agree with their summaries. I think Glitch is definitely at fault, especially with their handling of the Tari situation.
Yeah, the handling is 1,000,000,000% wrong. But it's hard to say. So at that part, they're for sure at fault. But this is like a multifaceted situation. I don't think that every tweet harassing Glitch employees right now is necessarily going to be a good move.
Imagine how scary it is to open Twitter and find out you lost your job, and there's no...
that's unacceptable. Literally unacceptable. I think that manager should be fired. There's no coming back from that. That's unacceptable.
Excuse for the poor communication. The bizarre Discord comment from the Glitch staff didn't really clarify anything either, and just opened a jar of worms, with more questions being left unanswered. I think at this point, all that can be done is to wait for an official response from Glitch. There definitely needs to be some safeguards put in place so this kind of thing doesn't happen again in the future. Mistakes happen, especially with new indie studios. But I think as long as the parties...
Yeah, but this mistake is unacceptable, and that manager should be canned. I have to say.
...involved are apologized to privately, and some changes are made at Glitch, then I reckon everyone can move past this. If you agree with my take or have any thoughts of your own on the situation, I'd love you to leave them in the comments.
I do agree with your overall take, Mr. guy, Mr. A. Lamau. I agree with your overall take that, yeah, the handling of firing her was obviously done terribly. I think that it's worth noting that once the drama shitstorm gets stirred up and people are upset at Glitch for something respectable, they're gonna take that and go all the way and say, oh, Glitch is evil. We need to boycott Glitch. We need to fucking kill Glitch. Oh, Glitch, they also do all these other things that are evil. And those other things might not necessarily all be evil. So here, let's see Glitch's response to it. I know he made a video covering Glitch's response as well. So let's get the whole situation done so that we have an opinion, we can formulate our minds. We're not just gonna sit here and you know, bullshit around with half knowledge. All right, let's see what we got. Don't harass people, obviously. That's stupid. Unless they're anonymous on Twitter. In that case, you could harass them, I guess. Whatever. I'm not saying you should, but like you could. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. Like, you just do your thing, bro.
So, the other day I made a video about the Glitch Productions controversy.
That was a joke.
Since my video, there's a bunch of new info, so I think it's worth discussing. Kevin, Glitch's CEO, ended up being doxxed and posted a full apology.
Oh, that is horrible. Whoever... fuck doxers. Jesus. God damn it, bro. Dude, I love how people think that, oh, Glitch did something wrong. Well, I'm gonna do something way worse right now and commit a felony. Bro, unacceptable. Literal scum of the earth behavior. No silver lining. Disgusting shit. Yes, they did something wrong by firing someone and not telling them that they were fired. And that's gross, okay? I'm not saying it's not, but yuck!
On the Glitch Twitter account.
Jail, prison, dungeon, 12 years dungeon, no lawyer, no trial, dungeon, 12 years.
And then give my thoughts at the very end as well. Before we start, I highly recommend watching my first video. It's 4 minutes long and is important for context. However, I'll give you a quick rundown. The voice actor of Tari in SMG4, Celeste, was recast with no warning from Glitch. She found out via Twitter, and as a result, Anime America resigned as SMG2. A Discord response was made by a Glitch staff member who worked with both of them, which complicated things. Soon after, some ex-employees came forward with anonymous testimonies about their negative experiences working at the company.
And then the Twitter shitstorm just grows and they start finding things to harass people about for no reason because that's what Twitter does.
So as a result, fans were extremely unhappy with the situation, leading to a mass boycott across
Twitter.
various social media websites. Throughout the entire thing, Glitch was posting merchant updates which annoyed people participating in the boycott. One quote retweet got 1.9 million views and 15,000.
Whoa! That's not so much. 1.9 million views? That's just your average Nux cancellation post. Please, baby shit, baby shit.
Likes. The tweet says how Glitch is allegedly silencing people and avoiding the situation by posting promo tweets. It says not to support the company. A current storyboard artist at Glitch called Neza made a long thread detailing their positive experience working for the company in response to...
Honestly, that is super wholesome. Like when companies get, or when people are under the radar and literally under the boot and getting hated by the masses, that's the worst. That's actually the worst. And then I have so much respect for people that while someone is under scrutiny, to show up and actually defend them, that's amazing. Like, nothing but respect.
To that quote retweet. I'll have the full thing on screen, so feel free to pause and read in your own time, but I'll summarize it. They say they love working at Glitch, the timetables are great, and they don't feel overworked. They mention that things have improved over time, especially after the release of the amazing digital Circus. And lastly, they finish off saying that experiences may differ between departments, and they're not trying to invalidate previous employees, but just give their perspective. Another 3D character animator at Glitch called...
Dude, that's so wholesome. The people at Glitch, like, obviously that gets less traction than the haters, but like, that's really nice. That's really, really nice that someone when they get canceled and people that support. I remember this happened to me when I got canceled, like the big one. All right, we know. We're not talking about these little Twitter idiots trying to stir shit up. But like when I got canceled, the big time, some of my editors came out to be like, "Yo, this guy's a nice guy. He's always been good to me." Evanito especially, like he went out there and really put his neck on the line, and like that is super duper nice of him. Like again, I'm still to this day touched that he did that. But like when you're under fire, for people to actually support you, like that's where you know who your real friends are. Honestly.
Called Legendary Griffin chimed in with similar sentiments. They again echo what was said previously, that working at the company is amazing, and if there was anything negative, they'd definitely speak out. Zophie Cat, a rigging artist at Glitch, also gave their opinion, again agreeing with the other two, saying they loved working at the company. One last
yeah.
employee called Cube also gave their opinion on the situation in a lengthy document. It was incredibly insightful and follows the same points as the rest, citing that they had a great experience
Dude,
working at the
that's so
company.
nice.
These statements were received quite positively. However, it's
Well, as
worth
they
noting
should.
that these staff work at Glitch generally, but not the SMG4 team, which is a separate department. So perhaps that's why the experiences differ so wildly. Unfortunately, however, as many of you know, Twitter is pretty toxic, and this led to the alleged doxing of Glitch CEO Kevin.
Fuck, I can't believe that they doxed him. I can't believe that they doxed him, man. I hate Twitter so much. These people are horrible. Literal scum of the earth.
The tweet has thankfully been deleted, but one user did a tweet posting Kevin's house, and that they'll continue to post it every day until something is done. This is obviously disgusting and only solves to muddy the waters. It's fine for fans to give their opinions on the situation. However, to go and post someone's docs and put their life in danger is vile and also illegal.
Bro, you see someone say something nice about a company and it's like, oh yeah, well I'll dox the CEO. Fuck, that's horrible, bro.
A day later, Kevin posted a full apology on the Glitch Twitter account. Most people have probably read this already, but if not, I'll leave it on screen so you can pause and...
Alright, I didn't read this. Alright, here's the official Glitch apology. Let's see what we got. Hey all, Kevin, CEO of Glitch Productions here. We've been silent this past week as I've been prioritizing checking in on taking care of my internal staff, having multiple open conversations with management production teams and assessing this entire situation. Last thing I wanted to do was rush out a half-assed statement as I take this matter very seriously. However, things have changed. Unfortunately, members of our staff and community have recently been harassed by people online. That is something I cannot tolerate and must address this immediately. For context, people left anonymous claims both here and anywhere elsewhere about the work standards at Glitch involving mistreatment and abuse. There's a lot of different stories and allegations out there. At this point, some of which are distorting and wrongly exaggerating the truth. I wanted to set the record straight. I acknowledge and take full accountability that during the early years at Glitch, there was indeed a lack of experience, training, and skill on my part in the management structure I had at the time to operate a small animation studio. So far, so good, honestly. So far, pretty normal stuff. Nothing to actually get your knickers in a twist about. For that, I'm sorry. Years ago, my brother and I started out this in our bedroom with dreams of making an animated show. We then inevitably realized how hard making an animated show was and started hiring more artists. All of them worked out of their house and spent the first few years making shows with little infrastructure. It was quite a ramshackle studio back then. I deeply apologize to any staff experienced any hardships during that time due to lack of experience and management. However, I maintain that I've always made it one of my main priorities to try and improve the management of the team, everyone's well-being, and overall scaling of the studio. Also, based. Makes sense. A lot of people start off in very small places and, you know, their infrastructure is not there. So far, so good. It didn't actually cover anything serious, but alright. I strongly assert that we have always tried to create a happy, positive workspace with a fair amount of work and reasonable deadlines and resources. I can't say we succeeded 100% of the time, but it has always been our goal to make a safe, healthy space where artists can make cool shit, have fun, feel taken care of. It's actually a large reason why I started Glitch. Most of our staff we bring on our permanent full-time employees here and have every intention of keeping them on and happy. We don't kick out employees when a project show ends here, and every time this company has had a success, we share it with the team. Again, this one sounds very corporate-y. I'm not going to say that this necessarily means anything at all. That's kind of up to the staff to say. Also, why did he have to pick such a small font? Since those early days, we brought on and built a proper leader management team, all of whom have received training to run, manage, and look after a team. We've introduced several production coordinators and management staff and try to plan, scope, and revise episodes, artist schedules better. An entire team has also been hired to try and improve our system so artists can spend less time debugging issues like what Maya keeps crashing, instead focusing on what they do best, creating beautiful art. Kind of irrelevant. We keep going. There are claims and questions on why release dates aren't pushed back to give artists more time, but that's the thing. They absolutely are. Over the year, multiple episodes have been pushed back as I wanted to make sure they had all the proper time to ensure they're great. That's why many of our teasers, trailers, and texts to effect of the episodes will be released when they're ready. In fact, episode 8 of Murder Drones will be delayed past the originally announced spring period. It is so much amazing content in it. The production management team and I have made a decision to give it so much time. The artists could give it more love and not be strained. Wow! Already better than Mappa. Already better than Mappa! Let's go! Glitch superior. That's not a high bar, but it's something. There have been other claims that I myself blacklist people in the industry from finding work, and another stating that I am a clout chaser or brings on artists with a big following. I feel the latter statement greatly disrespects and discredits all the hard work that the team has put in. True. You can come at me for what I say and say what you want, but when it comes to my team, I will speak up and defend them. They all produce amazing work and deserve everything. As for blacklisting people finding other work, this statement is beyond ridiculous and is something I wouldn't know how to do even if I wanted to. Not sure. I mean, I suppose we'll see. We'll see, and if that ever comes out, I think blacklisting people happens a lot, even by accident. A lot of people in the industry feels like they get blacklisted, even when in actuality they don't necessarily, because the people at Glitch are going to talk about their employees with other people and other friends, right? So I feel like it's very easy for them to be like, oh yeah, dude, working that guy, that was a pain in the neck. And then that other person is not going to hire that person. Now, you could call that blacklisting, or you could just call that people sharing their experiences. To be honest, I get both sides. I get both sides. All right, I'm deeply sorry to any past employee that feels dissatisfied with their time at Glitch. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I am. I will continue to do everything I can do to improve the well-being of voices from these incredibly talented band of artists. One thing I absolutely do not tolerate is the harassment or abuse of anyone. Based, please be kind to one another. We have the chance to improve the entire animation industry for the better here. Agreed. I feel like Glitch, maybe not Glitch in particular, but the idea of indie animations actually succeeding in some massive way, that's really awesome. That's fucking great, and I love it, and it's amazing. All in all, this apology was really good, except for one thing. They didn't mention the fact that they fired a voice actress without telling her, and she figured out that she was fired through Twitter. Like, I feel like as for the nameless Twitter entourage of bullshit, all of that, well addressed, well received, nicely spoken, Kevin. However, you didn't mention the focal point. The nucleus of the drama stems from the fact that Glitch fired somebody without telling them they were fired, hired somebody else, and they figured out that they were fired through a Twitter announcement. That should be apologized for. I'm just saying. But as far as the overall Twitter hubbub, hullabaloo bullshit, I feel like this is probably a fine statement. It's just the nucleus wasn't addressed for some reason.
So this apology was received really well.
I mean, it's received really well, but the main thing was skipped.
But there were some criticisms people brought up that I think are worth mentioning.
The fact that the voice actress was fired?
First being that there was no reasoning gave as to why Celeste was recast. That was one of the main talking points.
Again, I don't think they didn't need to give you a reason. So that I think is not a valid criticism. If a company fires somebody, and they have a reason for it, I don't feel like they owe the public the reason why they fired the person. I think they owe the person the reason why they fired. I think that's true. They owe the person the reason, but I don't necessarily think they owe the public a reason necessarily. I think that the public wants to know a reason, but the public doesn't need to know a reason. The public, I think, should only start requesting a reason if the person themselves wasn't given a reason. I think that's the only time that the public actually deserves to know. When the fired party is like, I was fired and they didn't tell me why they just fired me. I lost my job. It's over. I don't know why. That's when the public could be outraged. But if they had a reason, they told the person that was fired the reason. The person that was fired doesn't publicize the reason. The public doesn't need to know. They should not feel entitled to know.
On why the boycott started. However, it's strangely absent from this apology. I've seen people say that they'll likely do a follow-up to reiterate this, but I personally don't think they will. There was obviously some...
They're not going to follow up to reiterate this. They understand the art of apologizing on the internet. The art of apologizing on the internet is being as vague as possible and never admitting to any wrongdoing. Because the moment you admit to wrongdoing, they will hold that over you for the rest of your life. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't apologize when you do something wrong. In fact, I think you should apologize when you do something wrong morally. However, business-wise, it's almost always the wrong move. Apologizing doesn't work online, which is why people don't do it.
Sort of reason as to why they recast Celeste, but we'll likely never find out. The second thing is that
we don't need to find out. As long as she knows, that's the important part. We don't need to know why she was fired. I think the complaint is the fact that is how she was fired.
The apology is quite general and discusses the points levied against the company, but doesn't necessarily refute anything. I've seen people mention that the apology perhaps could include some screenshots or evidence to show steps being made to improve the company. I can see where these people are coming from, but
again, I don't think that screenshots or evidence is even necessary here. Because they're arguing with Twitter guys, and and reviews, public reviews online. Like, if there was an actual person sitting there saying, I was abused by the company is fucked up, here's our proof. If the company wanted to respond to that directly with refuting that or with giving proof, you can never prove that you're a good guy, because you can always take messages from yourself in the past being a good guy and use them as proof that you're a good guy. Now, I think most people are going to be good people 90% of the time. And then 10% of the time, they're not good people. So, showing texts from the 90% of being a good person is not going to do anything.
With these sorts of situations, it's difficult to create a flawless apology, especially when the doxing and harassment was making things way worse. I think the apology was really insightful and helped clarify the situation, which was a breath of fresh air.
I mean, I think the apology was well put. I just don't think that they apologized for the thing that actually warranted an apology. you know, not telling her she was fired until she was.
Compared to most apologies nowadays. So with everything covered, it's time to get into my thoughts. Like Kevin said, the company has been gradually improving over time as it evolves and gets more funding.
I think the apology was good as like a general statement that people know their headspace. I think that's nice. But aside from that,
it's great that they're putting measures in place to protect workers. There definitely seems to be a couple situations where ex-workers had negative experiences.
And that's just what happens in a big company. Like, I don't want to sound callous, but you're gonna have a big company, you're gonna have 150 employees. If 2 or 3 of them have a bad experience, then like that's just par for the course. Not that it invalidates their personal experiences, but that happens.
But it's important that these are taken on board so that it doesn't happen in the future. I said in my first video that a simple apology and an explanation would be a great response, and that's exactly what happened. I'm really happy that Glitch took the time to address everyone's thoughts.
Not everyone's thoughts. I think Glitch should have mentioned that we were wrong for firing her without telling the public, without telling her, and then she had to find out through public avenues. That was definitely wrong and will never happen again. I think that's definitely worth it. The manager fucked up on telling her. I don't think the CEO should apologize for that. I mean, that's true. That's true. But the CEO can apologize for the manager fucking up if he wants to. Like, I'm just saying.
Especially under such immense pressure. On the doxing situation, it's obviously disgraceful. It's unfortunately pretty par for the course over on Twitter.
Just that sentence is gross. Doxing is never okay.
People are unable to calmly discuss issues.
Unless it's Sniper Wolf. I'm not saying that you should dox Sniper Wolf, but if you did dox Sniper Wolf, like, I personally would not shed a tear.
So instead they resort to threats and harassment. I hope Kevin and the rest of the Glitch staff are okay. Lastly, just as I mentioned...
I don't think they deserve hate, bro. They, like, leave them alone. The manager guy that fucked up, dude, that guy sucks. But, like, the rest of them, if you're hating on them, you need to do something better with your life.
Earlier, I think the only missing puzzle piece was what happened to Celeste, but we'll likely never know, which is
Yep, alright, so the thing that I mentioned is the thing that's missing.
Unfortunate. I'm still very pleased they took the time to sit down and create a well-structured and genuine letter to the fans. Other than that, though...
I do think it's well-structured and genuine, but it was without a doubt missing the most important part of the entire situation, the fact that she was fired without telling her that she was getting fired.
I think with Kevin's apology, that's the book closed on this particular story. If you have any viewpoints on the situation, I'd love for you to leave them in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Alright, well, anyway, I think that I gave some pretty interesting insight here, so that's a dubski, I suppose. I do appreciate all of you for being here with me on this journey. I don't think any company's perfect, especially the ones that operate with billions of employees, but after this massive Twitter drama that Glitch went through, and the doxing and harassment and the mobs and the trendings and the people coming out with all their stories, I have to say, dude, it's not even bad. Like, as far as, like, the massive controversies go, like, if the worst thing they could say about Glitch is that a manager fucked up by forgetting to tell someone they were fired, if that's the worst thing you could say about Glitch, then that's pretty good. Shit, that's not... I mean, it's obviously bad that happened, but, like, as far as Glitch goes, I'm so happy that they weren't tarnished in my eyes. Anyway, that's the black pill perspective. Stay weird, fam. If you made it to the end, click one of these 2 videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kink. Stay weird, fam.